Welcome to a busted play. An illegal use of hands to the face short. Hayden, I have a question for you, as old as Tom. All right. How long do you think Tom Brady could play? He just did an interview in which he said that my goal is to play at the age of 45. And Jason Light, the GM of the Buccaneers, said if Tom wants to play until he's 50, I will gladly give him a contract. So, do you think he makes it that 50 mark? Do you think he just taps out at 45? What do you think?
Don't say it's tapping out. I mean, geez, getting to 45 is a huge accomplishment. No, I think he's been pretty set in stone on the fact that he's been shooting for 45, probably since his mid to late 30s. Like he just realized that he thinks 45 is the mark he can make it to if he keeps his body in the right shape, and I think he'll play out that season. Um, I can't imagine for any reason he would want to go till 50. Just because at that point, it's got to be like doing so much damage to your body. He's already playing a style of football where he's really careful about when he does or does not take hits. Even in like big time games, like he'll try to avoid taking some hits sometimes, go down early, which is smart at his age. Obviously, he should be doing that. But do I think that there's any way he gets to 50? Not a chance. But do I think 45 is almost a guarantee? Yeah, because he said 45 for basically what I would say is like the past 5 years he said it. I feel like it's a guarantee at this point.
Yeah, I think 45 is definitely a guarantee. I mean, his contract is for the next 2 years, so he's locked in until he's 45. Not saying that you can't retire in the middle of a contract, but he is locked into that. I do think he can go after 45 though. 250, I don't know. But if he, depending on how far he goes after 45, if he gets to a point where it's like one more season and I'll be the oldest player to ever play in the NFL, I don't know how you could just look at that and be like, yeah, let's not do that. Because I'm not saying Tom Brady's a stat driven guy. I think the only thing that drives him is Super Bowls. Uh, but just that would be something to hang your hat on. Still getting accolades, surpassing Drew Brees by a mile at that point if you're playing another half a decade. Well, more than that point, playing another 6, 7 years than Drew Brees did. Um, I do think he could do it. I think the TB12 method is insane. It's like a cult. Just if he's like siphoning the life out of avocados and giving himself like sunflower oil IVs or whatever the TB12 method is, I do think he could make it to 47. I think he could get to 47, which is insane because, just seeing 47-year-olds around here just in everyday life, it's like, yeah, bro, you would break a hip out there. You would break all your ribs and dislocate your thorax out there, and Tom Brady's just surviving. And I think that's what it is. If he can find a way to keep surviving in the NFL, there's going to be teams that want to pay him. I mean, when Joe Namath was, I don't remember how old he was, but some team offered him like a 10-year contract when he was up in his like late 30s to play for him. Just the name alone, people are going to pay for Tom Brady to be their starting quarterback. So if he wants to play, there's going to be people paying him.
Dude, no, I don't think it's gonna be much past 45. 40. I mean, I realize 47's only 2 more years, but when the 2 more years are age 46 and age 47 seasons, it's a lot tougher for me. When we see kickers that are trying to kick at like 45, 46 years old, like breaking down. I don't know if you play an actual position where you can be tackled if you're not gonna break down. I think we saw a decent amount of wear and tear this season from him, whether or not other people realized it. I think it was very prevalent at certain moments in the season. Luckily, most of the time it wasn't prevalent in their playoff run, which was really important. But I do think that it had something. I think it was a big part of their season, like for a short period of time there, and I think it was noteworthy. and every year it's going to be more obvious, right? It's not going to get less obvious. So like you realize he has to survive. This is he 43 right now, going on 44.
He's 43 right now. He's going to turn 44 before the start of next season.
So this is his 44 season, and then we also have his 45 season. You really think after the next 2 years we're really going to look at him and be like, "Oh, this is still going to work next season." Like a whole half year later or whatever.
Well, my question for that is, how long have people been saying that about Tom Brady?
Listen,
see,
I know, but honestly, the past 2 years I have seen a lot of stuff to finally see the slow decline. Before that, I was questioning it, but there wasn't actually evidence of it. The past 2 years, I've actually seen evidence of it, and once it starts, I don't think it slows down. I mean, plus, okay. Did you see how much he's breaking his habits now? He got drunk after they won the Super Bowl. There's no way he's on this strict of a diet anymore.
Here's the thing. I have a suggestion, all right? Now, you're no one that works with the Buccaneers, so it's not like this is an actual suggestion, but what if, they have Blaine Gabbert. He's the most underrated player in the entire league. They start Blaine Gabbert or Kyle Trask, and they leave Tom Brady in stasis, like they have him in a cryo chamber all season, and release him once the playoffs come.
No pressure. He's been there too often. That's true.
No, he has no pressure at that point. He's played like 3 full seasons in the playoffs at this point. So bright lights don't affect him. Just let him do that.
I like slowly letting this marinate though. Like you see, we've worked this into effect, but this season we just start it by not taking him out of every regular season game, but he only plays the divisional games. And then, next season he only plays the home divisional games. And then the next season, then he only plays once they get to the playoffs.
Well, no, that just the divisional games would be a little too little. It'd be like he plays all the home games and the away divisional games, and they're like, oh, why is Tom not starting these games? Bruce Arians is just like, well, Blaine Gabbert's the most underrated player in the entire league. Just let him do what he does. And then just the divisional games after that, and then just the home divisional games, and then just the playoffs. And by that time happens, he's 51. All right, all of his kids are off at college at that point.
And once you've made it to past 50, why don't you just go for 60 at that point? And
yeah.
Once you get past half a century, like, why don't you just go for the full century? Like,
yeah, and he's gonna say, I will only play if Bruce Arians is my head coach. So then Bruce Arians' brain will be put into a computer to coach them, and his brain still won't realize that he's in Tampa Bay, and he's still gonna think he's the head coach of the Cardinals.
Okay, now we're getting way too far off track, and nobody's even gonna know about what you're saying.
This is the dystopian NFL that we're all going to fall into, with Tom Brady still playing at the age of 60 and Bruce Arians' brain in a supercomputer.
I get the point of this, though. It's that with how long Brady has already played, we have no idea how much longer he can play.
Yeah, because I don't want to have kids that have to see him play. I don't want that for their eyes.
If the over-under is 45.5, I'm taking the under, though. You're taking the over.
I'm taking the over all day.
That's fine. Do you really think it's going to be with the Bucs, though? That's the last thing that I think we should close this on.
What's a really obscure... No, he's going to end up in Houston.
He's going to go play for an awful... Wait, is Houston about to have the best rebuild ever in this scenario, and we're going to have an awesome team in 2 years?
Yeah.
I did go look through Houston, and the one thing I'll say they have is linebackers. And the Bucs have good linebackers, so...
I think he will, if that Bucs defense eventually disassembles in the next 2 seasons or so, when everyone's contract is up, I think he'll just look for whatever team has like the best defense and just be like, I'll be your quarterback. And then, like, the football team, do you really think if Tom Brady came to the football team this offseason and said, I want to be your quarterback, that they would be like,
yes,
we got Heineke.
We
got the guy that almost beat you in the playoffs,
this
bro.
This offseason they would, but 2 years down the road when they've got prime time Heineke, there's no way they're giving up on him for Tom Brady.
Prime time Heineke, age 31.
Yeah.
He's like a fine wine.
No, 2
He's
years
like
from
a
now, he'll
fine
be
wine.
30. He's 28 now.
Thought he was 29.
You know,
Thought
maybe
he was
he
gonna be
aged.
29.
Maybe he aged. I don't know.
Maybe he aged. Yeah, he's capable of
I
that.
looked at the roster earlier and it said he was 28. So that's all I know.
Yeah. All right. He's 28. Yeah. So in 2 years he'll be 30 because his birthday's on March 15th.
Yeah.
So you were right. Like a fine wine, Taylor Heineke will stop Tom Brady from taking his job.
Listen, if Taysom Hill can be a starting quarterback at 30 or 31, then Taylor Heineke can be a starting quarterback at age 28. But I can see the appeal of Fitzmagic as well. We are so far off the starting point of this. Okay, let's cut it, okay? We good?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's cut it here.